Today we're going to take a look at the website for RootsIreland.ie, which is the site for the Irish Family History Foundation. Now, as I mentioned in the blog, this is a subscription site, and if you go to this upper right hand and click on subscribe, it will take you to a page, and as you can see, you can sign up for as little as 24 hours, and if you then decide to extend your subscription, they will actually deduct that from the cost of 1, 6, or 12-month subscription. You can also change this to US dollars, so you can see it's $17 for 24 hours. Now, right now they are running a special. It will go on until July the 11th, which is a 20% discount or $204 if you were looking at a 12-month subscription. One of the things that I love about this site is the fact that you can select a single payment rather than automatic renewals. So they will remind you when your subscription is coming up for renewal, but they will not automatically renew it. So again, you do have to have a subscription in order to be able to work with this site. So let's go back to the home page and start there. And as you can see, you can type in a name here, and just like most websites, it will encourage you to jump in and type in a name, but I'd like to discourage that for the time being because you do have a research plan, right? And so you really should know what it is that you're actually researching, both the locality and the time frame. So at this point, I'm going to we'll go to the search and we'll go over to online sources. And so this is the place that you can go to find out whether this website would even have records for the time and place where your ancestor lived. So let's take a look. Right here you can select the county that your ancestor came from. I'm going to just select down for this example. And as you can see, it lists all of the various localities and the time frames and the type of records that they cover. So starting with Baptist records, they have marriages, no baptisms. Again, you normally wouldn't have those for a Baptist church since they didn't practice infant baptism. But as you scroll down, here are the Church of Ireland records. And notice that in some places they have marriage or burial records, but no baptismal records. So it's important to check these lists to see if the record you're looking for would even be here. We have congregational records, civil records, and Methodist records. So you can see now we're getting down into Presbyterian records, and notice that these are indicated as non-subscribing Presbyterian records. One of the things that you should know about Presbyterian records is that there were a number of schisms in the church, and so we've got multiple types of Presbyterians. Sometimes when you see first and second Presbyterian, it's not that one parish got too large, it's that they're different types. So you may have to search multiple localities or multiple churches in order to find the person that you're looking for if you don't know exactly which one they were. And here we have Quaker records as well as, of course, Roman Catholic records. There's Reformed Presbyterian and some other types of records here. They also have gravestone inscriptions. Each one of the centers creates their own sites with the information. So you may not have all of this in the county where your ancestors were, but that's why you need to check and make sure that you know whether the records that you might be looking for are going to be there. So once you know that, yes, it makes sense, I probably should search this, we can go back and let's just search baptismal records. And in this case, I'm just going to type in the surname Moody. And we'll just begin by searching. This is an unusual enough name. We have 85 matches. Now, one of the things that this does is it will come up with alternate spellings and will give you some alternate spellings. Now, I know that these actually don't apply to my ancestors or the people that I'm looking for, because the only places that the Moody's were actually in County Longford and County Westmeath. And so by selecting the locality, I'll get just those people that lived in those two counties. They were sort of right on the border with each other. Now, the other thing that you can add, we can refine the search again, for example, is you can type in the father's first name and the mother's first name and surname. Now, I don't frequently start by typing in the mother's name because sometimes it wasn't recorded, or it's just one extra thing, and here's where you get the standard surname index or an exact match. So I might type in the father's name and say, for example, Bernard, as the father's name, and then search again, and I would only get those individuals whose father was named Bernard. So again, you can look at that. We can go in and view the record, and what you will get on this site is a transcription. And this transcription basically gives you the date of baptism. It gives you the name of the parish, in this case Moivore, in County Westmeath. If it's recorded, the address will be the name of the townland, and that's always great to have. But early records in particular, it's not frequently recorded by the priest. Here we do have the father's name, Bernard Moody, and the mother's name, Mary Glennon. That helps confirm that I've got the right people, because I have that corroborating detail that I know that this is the name of these are the names of the parents that I'm looking for. Now, if you come down here, it gives you the option of viewing the microfilm of the parish register, and that would take you over to the National Library. And I'm going to talk about that in a couple of weeks, so I'm going to just sort of skip over that. But if there was an image at the National Library of the actual page from the parish register, you might be able to view that there. Now, in the same way, you can refine this, for example, and instead of baptismal records, look for a marriage record. I'm going to take the father's name out here because the father's name is not typically recorded on a early marriage record. You won't really see that until 1864, when they started keeping civil records, especially for Roman Catholics. So let's just look at marriage records. And again, here I've got a different spelling that it's pulled up. That happens to be one of the people that I was looking for, so that is correct. But again, I can go in and look at these results, and I've got 2 pages of them here, so I can check each one of them out. Now, unlike a lot of areas in Ireland, this particular area does have burial records, which can be very valuable. So if I search for Moody in burial records, I don't get a whole lot of information, but what's very helpful is if there is an age, and it's not always recorded, but for example, this Patrick at 86 years old takes me well back into the 1700s in terms of his birth, and I was able to connect him and Bridget, his wife, into the family. So I actually have this Moody line back to the middle of the 1700s, which is again unusual, and I would not have been able to do that without burial records. So a lot of information. We also can search by county. That's another way that you can do it. So again, if I go to Longford and I'm searching for Moody's, one of the extra, I'm actually going to go back to baptismal records. One of the extra items that I can search on here are the names of the actual parishes or the parish churches. So I happen to know that a large number of the Moody family were in the parish of Shrule, the Roman Catholic parish of Shrule, and at this point I can now search for only those Moody's in that particular parish. Now, in this case, because again it's such an unusual name, I can usually connect all of these people in. But if I went to search, for example, the Dailies in Kilvine in County Mayo, by searching by the actual church parish, the likelihood is all of those people that are in that same parish are going to be somehow related. So I hope this gives you a good idea of how to use Roots Ireland. It is a wonderful database for researching church records. And it doesn't cover everything. And I would emphasize that. Not all of the records are here, but there are at least some records for all of the counties in Ireland. So enjoy your research at Roots Ireland.